Hi, my name's Anthony Hines. For the last 40 plus years, I've been helping people with their career as best as I can based on my experience. You can survive. You can subscribe to my career podcast at podbean.com. That said, you can follow me on podbean.com and get access to all my job search podcasts. That's what I also do because I love helping people to get their next opportunity, and I love helping people to get ahead any way they can in their career. I was unemployed and it was horrible, absolutely horrible at one point in my life, and I took it day to day. I figured out the rules, and I said to myself, not only when I get my next job am I going to do well in that job, but I'm going to show everyone else what I did so that they're able to get ahead in their own career and have some guidance. Because when you're in the unemployment situation, a lot of times people are not calling you, and you take it much more personal than you normally would when you do have a routine of the workplace. Okay? So I want you to use my podcast as support. I want you to use my podcast to go back to them as needed. All the different subjects. I mean, I don't have one out here, people. I have over 100. And the fact is, they're all out on Podbean. Some of them are Careerr, which are subscription, but a lot of them are job search that are there to help the people when they're at their lowest. Yeah, I could try to charge a few bucks for them, but you know what? The unemployed people need their money to live. They need their money to pay their rent. They need their money to pay their mortgage. They need their money to feed their family. And frankly, I don't want their money when they're in job search mode. Because the fact of the matter is, they need their money for more important things than to pay me. I just want to give you advice so that you can get yourself your next great opportunity and move along in your career. Today I want to talk about salary, and I want to talk about negotiation. Just a little bit. All right? Salary. First of all, before you go to a job, any job, you need to look up online. Either go to salary.com or go to LinkedIn under the job search option and look for the job search option, the premium job seeker option, and get some salary access to the jobs to see whatever job you're applying to, that you know what the salary range is. That's very, very important when you're applying for jobs, because the fact of the matter is, you don't need that disconnect, okay? The disconnect of the offer comes in and it's much lower than you thought it would be. Or, which can happen, it's much higher than you thought it would be, okay? But you need the knowledge of what the job is worth. This is on you. This is your responsibility, okay? Because the fact of the matter is, if you go in there with that knowledge, you're going to go in there with strength. So you need to go out online and find what the range is, not only for the salary nationally, but the salary in your region. For instance, the Northeast will not be the same as, say, the South. Because you know why? People can pay less in the South. Why? Because people want to move there because of the climate. So the fact of the matter is, a lot of times in Florida or some of the southern states, they pay less because they have a bigger pool of people, because those people will gladly move to those states because of the climate. So think about that. Keep that in mind, okay? Remember also, too, there are some hot areas in the country. Places like North and South Dakota, as well as Austin, Texas, Oregon, Washington. There are places around the country where salary is higher because they're hot job markets. You really need to know where the hot job markets are and what kind of markets you're in when you're applying for jobs, so that when the salary questions or negotiations begin, you have a very strong understanding of what salary is. Okay? Maybe you have to pay for that information. Maybe you have to buy it. You know what? So it's a few bucks. All right? I'll say that I'm not charging you, but you know what? There are times when you have to spend money on yourself for the sake of the job and for the sake of the the job search process. And this is one time. When you're close to getting an offer, you really want to make sure you know what the salary is. And you could also do that check when you're in the interview process, because it may come up at any time. So the fact of the matter is, right, if you're in the interview and you say, well, here is this document that I found online. Based on the information I found and based on the industry, this is what the salary range is. Okay? But you don't say that until you ask them what salary they were thinking of giving you. Because if their salary range is above that range that you're discussing, now the question becomes, well, that's a very good salary. That's a very good salary for the range. That would seem to me there's more responsibility than meets the eye here based on that salary range. Because sometimes people, you get offered more money because A, the people you work with are hard to get along with, or B, there are duties that fall on these positions that you may not realize until you get in there. Nobody goes into a salary negotiation regarding hiring managers or the like without the right number. HR goes out and figures out what the numbers are for every single job, and they keep that range in that area. That's what HR does, so that people within groups don't have a big discrepancy regarding what they make versus what new people make in the positions. Okay? HR departments are constantly doing surveys, seeing what jobs are worth, what they pay, and the like. But you need to do it in the job search process, because that way you need to know what the job is worth. Both from the aspect that if they come in too low, then you know that the company, is not within the salary range that you have. You can bring it up, but the fact of the matter is that's their range. Maybe they come up a little, maybe they don't. But the reality is, if it's way above, you got to ask yourself, what more is in this job that they're not telling me? Okay? Because nobody goes out of that range. Everybody knows what the jobs are worth. So if you get an offer that's too good to be true, guess what? It is too good to be true. So you need to know what salary the jobs are worth and what salary the jobs pay regarding their range. Because when you're in the interview process, as they say, it could come up anytime. You want to make sure you're prepared and you know what the numbers are. Okay. Now, we talk about if they come in low. Let's say the salary range is a bit low. Okay. Well, you know what? I was in that position and I took the job. You know why? Because they didn't have another job. And sometimes companies do that. They know you're unemployed, so they come in with a little bit of a lower offer to save the money. You know what, people? I know that's not right. I know that's principally not good. I understand that, but it's a reality. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, if they come in lower and you got nothing else in the pipeline and you can make it work, personally, Anthony says, I take it. You know why? Because a little bit of something is better than a lot of nothing. Okay? That's how I feel. I mean, if you got multiple offers coming in, that's a different game. But my feeling is, if they come in a little bit low, you know what? That's when you negotiate. And what you negotiate is, you look for an extra week of vacation, even if it's unpaid, or an extra 2 weeks of vacation, even if it's unpaid. Okay? Or will they pay for educational opportunities that are not available within the tuition reimbursement program, such as certifications? Will they pay for renewal of certifications? Okay? Because you're going to get your money back in stuff. All right? Fact of the matter is, they can give you your money in money, or they can give you your money in stuff. As long as they're giving you money some way, you're getting it. So my theory is, whether you get it as money or you get it as stuff, it's okay. But you got to know this going in. You got to know what's important to you. You got to know what you want regarding the other options if the salary is not there. Because if you don't come back during that period and you accept the lower salary, all your leverage is gone. Your leverage occurs when you're considering the salary, when you're considering the offer. That's when your leverage is. So don't let that leverage go without saying, okay, it's a little less than I thought, but what about this, and this? Certifications, renewal of certification licenses, as well as tuition reimbursement overall, extra vacation, whatever is important to you, because you need to make it even in your head. Because if you don't, you're always going to have resentment. You're going to say, they got me too cheap. They got me, why didn't I fight for this? And it's going to affect your productivity. Okay? It's going to affect your productivity. There was a time in my career when I got an offer, and then the offer was lowered at the end. Okay? I didn't argue with them. Okay? I took it because I needed the job. But then I said to myself, okay, how am I going to get that money back? And I figured the best way to get it back was certification boot camps. All right? I went out, I justified certifications for myself, justified boot camps, and I made double that money in training and certifications, which I still have today, because I was able to take the reality of the lower job offer and turn it into the certifications that I needed. Okay? But you got to think, people. You got to be ready for that. You got to do that. So it's not always just about money. It's about stuff or things that make you a better employee, not only to the company, but to the industry overall. So be flexible when it comes to the negotiation aspect. Maybe you can work from home a couple of days a week, or a day, as they say, a day a week. Maybe you can do that. If you say, oh, that's no big deal. Oh, yeah? Let me tell you something. Once you start working from home, you realize what a big deal it is. And you realize how good it is and how cool it is that you don't have to make the commute. Okay? So my point is, be flexible in the salary situation, because the negotiation comes fast and furious. If you don't know your numbers, if you don't know your facts, if you don't know what you want, you're dealing at a disadvantage. So for every job that you feel that the salary negotiation is going to occur, or actually any job that you're going in or interviewing for, that you're starting to move along on, it can't hurt to know the salary. And especially if you're going in on multiple companies for the same position. All you got to do is do it once, and you'll have that information everywhere. Okay, remember, industries are different, regions are different, size of companies are different. But if you see a salary that's out of whack, there's a reason for that. So the fact is, you want to say to yourself, what is that reason? And you want to deal with that. But you only can deal with that with knowledge, with a plan, and with information. Because let me tell you, companies will recognize and really admire people that are planned, that are detailed, that are organized, and know what they're talking about. Okay? So remember, preparation is key. And also, if the offer comes in, be prepared with what else you can take other than money to make things work for you. Okay? You don't want an offer rescinded because you didn't handle it properly. Offers do get rescinded, people. So the fact of the matter is, you want to handle it with strength, handle it with information, and handle it as if you're ready to go. That's on you. It's not on anybody else. It's not on the hiring manager. It's not on the HR department. They project it from their world. It's on you to be prepared. So you got to know this. Okay? So remember, salary and negotiation are not something to be afraid of. There's something to be worked with based on the fact of you having the information before you enter the discussion for the salary. And before you enter the discussion for the overall benefits and when you're eligible for these benefits, remember, you could also look for things like different eligibilities. For instance, an earlier eligibility for 401k, or as they say, earlier eligibility for medical, or something like that. Something that you could look for to try to get if in fact the salary is not within the range you expected. Look for those things, because remember, total compensation is money, benefits, time off, and everything the company gives to you. What a company offers you is your total compensation package. So be aware of that and work with that to make it work for you. Okay, my name's Anthony Hines. Go to my LinkedIn profile. Get my job search article. Go right now. Get to my job search article. Download it. It goes step by step by step by step, and it tells you how to get your job search moving. Thousands of people have done this, okay? Nobody has come back to me and said it was horrible, so I got to believe people have gotten some value out of it, okay? Join my groups, my LinkedIn group, with a bunch of recruiters out there, and anyone that you talk to or reach out to that is a contact of mine that I tell you to reach out, you got to tell them I sent you, okay? Because that may get them to answer you quicker, all right? Again, my name's Anthony Hines. Come follow me on Podbean for my job search podcast, but also subscribe to my Careerr podcast. Again, have a great day, and remember, salary and negotiation are within your control only when you have the information and have a plan. Have a great day now. Bye-bye.